Good evening, guys. Bill McMillan here with NDWX.com. Just wanted to touch base with you as we head into the weekend on the upcoming weather pattern. We've been talking for some time now around a rather significant flip from a unseasonably mild, rather boring weather pattern, if you will, to one that's much more active and much colder. And that transition takes place next week. We're not going to highlight that transition, so to speak, here. We've covered that already with previous updates, but we wanted to touch on a couple of different items around snow prospects that are developing later next week and just the overall duration of this cold weather pattern in terms of not only the prolonged nature, but also potentially where this weather pattern may go in terms of extreme cold down the road, especially if we start laying a snowpack down. This is a look at the 500 millibar pattern off of the GFS forecast model, and this is the upper level pattern. Gives us an idea as to energy, if you will, that may be present to generate snow showers given the cold nature of the pattern by the middle part of next week. And as we put this into motion, it's really as we get into Thursday night and Friday that a vigorous upper level disturbance is progged here to carve itself out across the Ohio Valley. And if this comes to fruition, would certainly raise the eyebrows for the potential of the first significant accumulating snow across our particular part of the country. Now, it should be known that there's not a tremendous amount of model agreement. We've seen some comments already tonight that the European, for instance, doesn't really suggest the same look. However, we do know that the GFS forecast model handles upper level disturbances, northwest flow disturbances better than the European model. And we also want to note that there's been some run-to-run consistency with this particular model. And given the overall pattern as a whole, let's say that the model didn't even show a northwest flow clipper type disturbance, if you will, coming in here the latter part of next week at this juncture, we would still have to be on guard for that potential. It's just given the overall pattern, it's certainly one that's going to become more and more favorable for these clippers to come through here. Then you factor in the fact, the likelihood at least that we're looking at some high ratio clippers. You can certainly get some overachievers in very short order. So keep the latter parts of the work week, next week, on your radar, so to speak, for the potential of the first accumulating snow of the season. And the hits don't start coming there. We've got just a very fast-paced, active northwest flow that is certain to yield additional clipper systems, and the potential is obviously there, as the GFS shows, the middle part of the month for a more widespread synoptic scale type storm that would provide more of a widespread snow and wintry type event across a larger portion of the country down the road. So nonetheless, a very active, cold, and snowy pattern. And by the way, I think when you look back at the past couple of years, certainly this is something that we've not seen in a few years, especially at this time of the year as well as the holiday season gets underway. This is a look at the Arctic Oscillation off the GFS Ensemble, deeply negative here as we go out to mid-month. Again, this is not going to be some sort of cold air mass that just comes in and leaves. This thing is locking in, we truly believe, through the rest of this year and likely even into the new year. The EPO as well forecast negative here. The PNA generally positive. I would probably argue that given the look to the pattern longer term, that come mid-month you're going to see this guy correct into a positive value as well for the PNA. And what that provides is a pattern that is just a classic eastern and central cold weather pattern. Look at this high latitude blocking almost a ridge bridge developing here. And when you see that take place this time of the year, this pattern can quickly feed back on itself. You start laying a snowpack down. These air masses get progressively colder, and the potential is there certainly for some extreme cold, I think, during the middle and latter portions of December. A lot to look at moving forward. We really just wanted to highlight the potential of the season's first accumulating snow event the latter parts of next week for the purpose of this video, but we'll be updating through the weekend and look forward to talking with you later. Guys, make it a great weekend. We'll talk with you soon.